Also on Raw, the build for John Cena versus Bray Wyatt continued with Cena playing up being affected by the Wyatt family's mind games. He was seeing reflections of the sheep mask in mirrors and cautiously approached his match with Luke Harper. During the contest, the lights cut off, and when they cut back on, Cena was tied up in the ropes with the sheep mask on himself as Bray Wyatt laughed maniacally. Speaking of Bray, he cut a promo earlier in the night with one of his lines being, "What can you possibly do to harm something that just can't feel?" As Cena ponders the answer to that question, what do you all feel about the latest development here?
Bray Wyatt is the most interesting character in the company. And I know I said that earlier about Triple H being the most interesting one in regards to who is in the main event scene. But Bray Wyatt, when he comes on the TV and he starts talking, I instantly just focus all of my attention away from what I'm doing and listening to him speak. The spot with the mask, watching Cena in the background, it was kind of creepy. And when he turned around, it was just completely gone. It came off well, I guess. And then Harper and Cena had a pretty good match leading up to what happened at the end with the lights going out and Cena turning up with the mask on his face and tied up in the ropes. It came off pretty good. It's too bad that this isn't a higher focal point of Raw and of WrestleMania because they're putting out some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. I feel like this has been some solid build-up. The match was pretty good. Luke Harper had some really good showings as of late in the past month. He's been really putting on some good stuff in the ring with various people. The lights going out and Cena coming on with the sheet mask on his face was cool. Bray Wyatt's character is definitely very interesting. I do think this is being built up very well to kind of carry the undercard of WrestleMania, be a focal point of the undercard. So even though I was skeptical at the start about John Cena and Bray Wyatt, like Bray Wyatt being able to be in a feud with John Cena not being in some sort of high-profile match, it's serving a purpose, and it'll be fine.
I like how this feud isn't being shoved down our throats. It's actually telling to what John Cena is trying to protect his legacy. And you notice, as the years go on, John Cena is being beaten by a lot of new guys coming in. Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan, guys like
Really?
Shield.
Really?
Yeah, that's the same thing I'm saying. Really?
Miz, his domination of the entire roster, it's not really happening like it used to. His how do I say it? His dynasty. The dynasty is kind of over by now. And I really like how things are playing out. Like, we have a legitimate threat to John Cena. It feels like it's not as obvious that he's going to win this match as he would a few years ago. The whole image of him having the sheep mask on him, them, just completely owning him, I like that. This is one of those feuds where it's not the most important thing going on, but it doesn't need to be. It's right in the position that I want it to be. I like where everything is headed.
I still can't shake the feeling that there was a step missing in the storytelling here. Cena is losing his damn mind due to the Wyatt family occupying his thoughts. But what was it that precipitated a change so drastic to the point where he's admitting to being afraid of Bray Wyatt and nervously splashing water on his friggin' face backstage? On last week's show, Brandon, he was talking about how Cena is artificially inflating the importance of the Wyatt family, and he kind of sold me towards the end of that discussion that we had on that show, but I'm seeing it even more now, especially since WWE is going all in with this whole Cena is afraid narrative. Even though that's a great angle to explore, the fact that it came out of nowhere makes whatever is being built on top of it harder to buy. So even though I can say another great promo from Bray Wyatt, Cena vs. Harper, that was a really good match, and that was a really cool visual to see Cena in the sheep mask. All around, they did provide some solid build this week for where we are now in the feud, but the rocky road that led us here, it makes everything that happened this week a little less effective as far as I'm concerned.
I never thought about that. Why? As far as the whole artificially inflating Bray Wyatt's importance. But he is kind of a scary guy. I mean, we haven't had anybody appear in the ring or do some of the stuff that he does, like The Undertaker. So, I mean, maybe that could be the explanation for it.
See, I agree with that. And I actually believe that the feud, it should have eventually led to that point. It's just like that missing piece in the middle. It's like a puzzle. You can clearly see what the picture is, but you have like a few of the pieces missing. It feels incomplete.
I feel like that would have been like a post WrestleMania, like post Bray Wyatt beating Cena kind of aspect to the feud. Like once he's lost a battle, then he feels like that. Because we did go from, if you want the top fucking spot, you got to go right through my ass, to I'm afraid, which is kind of very strange.
Yeah, and I don't want it to get confused at all. Like, when Bray Wyatt presents himself to be what he is, it's not as if I'm saying that the Wyatt family isn't important, but it's just that in this feud where we are right now, that Cena is, what's the exact phrase that I'm looking for? He's doing too much. He's doing too much. It's like when you talk up your opponent just to make, like when you eventually defeat them, it's like you talk them up just so you look better in the end when you defeat them. I think it would have been great to explore that story, but it's just like pieces missing in the middle. Okay, so somebody mentioned The Undertaker. Let's go ahead.
So back to Bray Wyatt and Cena.
Yeah, man.
Shit, can we please? Damn, I'll find something to talk about with him.